First contact gone awry. The day Earth's skies darkened with the arrival of alien ships was meant to be a momentous occasion for humanity. Instead, it became a comedy of errors that nearly sparked an interstellar incident. Dr. Samantha Chen, lead xenolinguist at the United Nations Space Command, stood on the roof of the UNSC headquarters in Geneva, squinting at the massive ship hovering above Lake Geneva. Its surface rippled like liquid mercury, defying every law of physics humans understood. "Any response to our transmissions?" she asked her assistant Marco, who was furiously tapping at a tablet. Marco shook his head. "Nothing, Dr. Chen. It's like they're not even receiving our signals." Samantha frowned. They had been broadcasting welcome messages in every conceivable format for hours, from simple binary to complex mathematical sequences. The silence was unnerving. Suddenly, a beam of shimmering light burst from the ship's underside, striking the lake's surface. The water began to churn and bubble, steam rising in great plumes. "Are they boiling the lake?" Marco's voice cracked with disbelief. Before Samantha could respond, a cacophony of screeching filled the air. Millions of fish, their scales gleaming in the alien light, began leaping from the lake's surface, propelled by some unseen force. They arsed through the air, landing with wet splats on the streets, rooftops, and unfortunate pedestrians of Geneva. "Oh God," Samantha muttered, ducking as a trout sailed over her head. "They think they're helping us fish." The scene quickly devolved into chaos. Emergency services scrambled to deal with the impromptu seafood deluge, while panicked citizens fled the piscine onslaught. News helicopters circled overhead, broadcasting the bizarre spectacle to a stunned global audience. Amidst the pandemonium, a figure caught Samantha's eye. A man in a garish Hawaiian shirt was calmly making his way through the fish-strewn streets, wielding what appeared to be an oversized spatula. As she watched, he scooped up a particularly large salmon and tossed it onto a portable grill he'd set up on the sidewalk. "Marco," Samantha said slowly. "Who is that?" Marco squinted at his tablet. According to facial recognition, that's Dr. Jack Harper. He's a cryptozoologist and part-time food blogger. Samantha blinked. "Get him up here. Now." 15 minutes later, Dr. Jack Harper stood before them, grinning widely and smelling strongly of grilled fish. "Quite the party, eh?" he said, gesturing at the chaos below. "Shame about the lake, but I haven't had sushi this fresh since that Bigfoot hunting expedition in British Columbia." Samantha pinched the bridge of her nose. "Dr. Harper, I'm Dr. Samantha Chen, UNSC Xenolinguistics. We need your help." Jack's eyebrows shot up. "Me? I'm flattered, but unless these aliens are secretly aquatic cryptids, I'm not sure how much help I'll be." "You're the only person I've seen who isn't panicking," Samantha explained. "We need someone who can think outside the box. Our traditional methods of communication have failed, and we're running out of options." Jack stroked his chin thoughtfully. "Well, if they're trying to communicate through actions rather than words or signals, maybe we need to respond in kind." A gleam appeared in Samantha's eye. "What do you have in mind?" 20 minutes later, Samantha found herself questioning every life decision that had led her to this moment. She stood on the shore of Lake Geneva, watching as Jack Harper orchestrated what he called a reverse fish fry. Hundreds of volunteers had formed a human chain, passing fish from the streets back into the lake. Jack himself stood knee-deep in the water, using his giant spatula to launch fish in high arcs back into the deeper parts of the lake. "This is insane," Marco muttered beside her. "I know," Samantha replied. "But at this point, what do we have to lose?" As if in answer to her question, the alien ship suddenly ceased its lake-boiling beam. A hush fell over the crowd as they waited to see what would happen next. With a sound like 1,000 wind chimes, a section of the ship's hull rippled and parted. A small craft, no larger than a car, descended towards the lakeshore. It landed gently on the water's surface, bobbing like a duck. The top of the craft opened and a being emerged. It was vaguely humanoid, with iridescent scales covering its body and large, faceted eyes that reflected the chaos around them. In one of its forearms, it held what appeared to be a fishing rod made of light. Jack Harper, still standing in the lake, was the first to react. He waded towards the alien craft, giant spatula held high like a knight's sword. "Welcome to Earth," he called out. "Sorry about the mess. We're usually much tiddier, I promise." The alien tilted its head, regarding Jack with curiosity. Then, to everyone's amazement, it held out its fishing rod of light. Jack, without hesitation, reached out and took it. As their hands or hand analogues touched, a spark of energy passed between them. Jack's eyes widened, and he let out a laugh of pure delight. "Oh, that's brilliant," he exclaimed. Samantha rushed forward. What's happening?" Jack turned to her, grinning from ear to ear. "They're not invaders, Dr. Chen. They're tourists. This whole thing was just a colossal misunderstanding. They thought Earth was some kind of premium fishing resort." The alien made a series of musical chirps, which Jack somehow seemed to understand. "They're apologizing for the inconvenience," he translated. Apparently, their travel brochure was a bit out of date, by about 65 million years. Samantha stared at him, then at the alien, then back at Jack. You can understand them." Jack shrugged. "Sort of. It's more like sharing impressions. That energy transfer when we touched. I think it was some kind of universal translator. Neat, huh?" As the implications of this revelation sank in, Samantha felt a mix of relief, excitement, and utter bafflement. First contact had been achieved, not through careful diplomacy or advanced technology, but through a man with a giant spatula and a penchant for the absurd. The alien chirped again, and Jack nodded. "They're asking if we'd like to join them for a feast. Apparently, they feel bad about the whole lake boiling thing and want to make it up to us." Samantha looked at the fish-strewn streets, the bewildered crowd, and the shimmering alien ship above. She thought about the years of training and preparation that had led to this moment, all rendered moot by a series of improbable events. And then she laughed. A full, hearty laugh that released all the tension and fear of the past few hours. "Why not?" she said finally, wiping tears from her eyes. After all, what's a first contact without a good meal to break the ice? As word spread of the peaceful intentions of their visitors, the mood in Geneva began to shift. Fear gave way to curiosity, then to excitement. By nightfall, the lakeshore had been transformed into an impromptu interstellar potluck, with humans and aliens alike sharing dishes from across the galaxy. Samantha sat on the beach, watching as Jack regaled a group of fascinated aliens with tales of earthly cryptids, complete with dramatic reenactments using his trusty spatula. She couldn't help but smile at the absurdity of it all. First contact had not gone according to plan. It had been messy, chaotic, and at times downright ridiculous. But as she looked around at the scene of interspecies harmony, Samantha realized that perhaps this was exactly how it needed to be. After all, if humanity was going to take its place among the stars, it would need to embrace the unexpected and find joy in the chaos. As the night wore on and the stars twinkled above, Samantha raised her glass, filled with what she hoped was compatible alien punch, in a silent toast. To new beginnings, unlikely heroes, and the infinite possibilities that lay ahead in the vast, weird, wonderful universe. The Galactic Challenge. 6 months after the Great Fish Fry incident, as it had come to be known, Earth was buzzing with excitement. The initial shock of first contact had given way to a frenzy of cultural and technological exchange. Humanity had taken its first tentative steps into a larger galactic community, and the universe, it turned out, was even stranger and more wonderful than anyone had imagined. Dr. Samantha Chen stood in the newly constructed Intergalactic Embassy in New York, marveling at how quickly things had changed. Aliens of various species mingled with human diplomats, scientists, and the occasional bewildered tourist who had wandered in by mistake. "Dr. Chen, A familiar voice called out. She turned to see Jack Harper striding towards her, still wearing his trademark Hawaiian shirt, but now adorned with a badge that read Earth's official galactic liaison and part-time food critic. Jack, she greeted him with a smile. How was your trip to? Where was it again? Zeta Reticuli, he replied, grinning. Lovely place. Bit heavy on the methane atmosphere, but they make a mean tentacle stew. Before Samantha could respond, a commotion near the main entrance caught their attention. A delegation of tall, willowy beings with skin that shimmered like opals was making its way through the crowd. At their head was a creature that seemed to be made entirely of swirling, iridescent mist. The Arcturians, Jack whispered. Big shots in the galactic community. Wonder what they're doing here. The misty being at the front of the delegation drifted towards them, its form coalescing into a vaguely humanoid shape. When it spoke, its voice sounded like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. Greetings, representatives of Earth, it said. I am Ambassador Zix of the Arcturian Collective. We come with an invitation and a challenge. Samantha and Jack exchanged glances. A challenge? Samantha asked cautiously. Zix's misty form shimmered with what might have been amusement. Every 1,000 cycles, the advanced species of our galaxy gather for the Great Cosmic Olympiad. It is a series of trials designed to test the ingenuity, adaptability, and potential of emerging civilizations. Earth has been nominated to participate. Jack's eyes lit up. Space Olympics? Count us in. Samantha elbowed him discreetly. Perhaps we could hear more about these trials, Ambassador. Zix nodded, or at least its misty head bobbed slightly. The challenges vary each time, designed to be unpredictable and to test a wide range of skills. Participants are given limited resources and must rely on their wits and creativity. The rewards for success are great: advanced technology, resource-rich worlds, and a voice in galactic affairs. And if we fail? Samantha asked, a note of concern in her voice. The ambassador's mist darkened slightly. Those who cannot meet the challenges often find themselves overlooked in galactic matters. Some have even regressed, unable to cope with the knowledge of their cosmic inadequacy. A heavy silence fell over the group. The stakes, it seemed, were higher than they could have imagined. Jack cleared his throat. Well, no pressure then. When do we start? You have 1 Earth month to prepare, Zix replied. Choose your team wisely. You will need more than just your brightest minds. You will need those who can think beyond the boundaries of conventional wisdom. With that, the Arcturian delegation swept out of the embassy, leaving behind a buzz of excitement and apprehension. Over the next few weeks, Earth was gripped by Olympiad fever. Every nation, corporation, and scientific institution scrambled to put forward their best and brightest. Samantha found herself at the center of it all, tasked with assembling the final team that would represent humanity in this cosmic contest. The selection process was grueling. Traditional academic and physical tests were combined with increasingly bizarre challenges designed to test lateral thinking and adaptability. One memorable round involved contestants trying to build a functioning communication device using only a rubber duck, a slinky, and a jar of peanut butter. In the end, Samantha stood before the final team, an eclectic mix of geniuses, misfits, and wild cards that she hoped would represent the best of what humanity had to offer. There was Dr. HFY Tale, a quantum physicist with a penchant for Bollywood dance; Carlos Mendoza, a former street artist turned nanotech engineer; Zhou Chen, no relation to Samantha, a 15-year-old polymath who had hacked the selection process just to prove she could; and of course, Jack Harper, whose unconventional thinking had proven invaluable in understanding alien mindsets. Rounding out the team were Yuki Tanaka, a master of origami and computational folding algorithms; Nkosi Okafor, a Kenyan marathon runner with a PhD in exobiology; and Maria Gonzalez, a retired librarian whose eidetic memory and passion for cross-referencing had helped crack several alien language systems. Anne. As Samantha looked at her team, she felt a mix of pride and trepidation. They were brilliant, yes, but would they be enough to face whatever challenges the galaxy had in store? The day of departure arrived all too quickly. The team gathered at the newly constructed spaceport outside of Cape Canaveral, ready to board the sleek Arcturian vessel that would take them to the Olympiad. As they prepared to embark, a commotion broke out near the security checkpoint. Samantha rushed over to find Jack arguing with a flustered-looking official. "Sir, I'm sorry, but you can't take that on board," the official was saying, pointing at the giant spatula strapped to Jack's back. "This isn't just a spatula," Jack protested. "It's a symbol of Earth's first contact, a lucky charm, a potential secret weapon." Samantha sighed, realizing that this was likely to be the first of many unusual situations she'd have to navigate. "It's all right," she told the official. "It's specialized equipment, cleared by the highest levels." The official looked skeptical but relented, allowing Jack and his oversized utensil to pass. As they boarded the ship, Samantha pulled Jack aside. "A secret weapon, really?" Jack grinned. "Hey, you never know what might come in handy out there. Besides, if we're going to represent Earth, we might as well embrace our weird side, right?" Samantha couldn't help but smile. As unconventional as Jack's methods were, she had to admit he had a point. If humanity was going to make its mark on the galactic stage, it would be by embracing not just its brilliance, but its beautiful absurdity as well. The team settled into their quarters as the ship prepared for takeoff. Through the viewport, they watched Earth grow smaller, a blue marble suspended in the vastness of space. "Attention, Earth team," a melodious voice announced over the ship's communications system. "We will be initiating faster-than-light travel in approximately 5 minutes. Please ensure all lucky spatulas are securely stowed." As the team shared nervous laughs, Samantha felt a surge of determination. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, armed with knowledge, creativity, and a hefty dose of human spirit. The ship's engines hummed to life, and in a flash of dazzling light, they were gone, hurtling towards their date with destiny among the stars. Little did they know that their first challenge would begin long before they reached their destination, and it would test not just their minds, but the very essence of what it meant to be hum. Ingenuity under pressure. The journey to the cosmic Olympiad testing grounds was anything but smooth. Halfway through their faster-than-light journey, the Arcturian ship encountered an unexpected spatial anomaly, throwing them off course and damaging several key systems. As alarms blared and the ship shuddered, the Earth team sprang into action. Dr. Aisha Patel quickly identified the problem. The ship's navigation matrix had been scrambled by the anomaly, leaving them adrift in an unknown sector of space. "We need to recalibrate the entire system," Aisha explained, "but the data patterns are like nothing I've ever seen." That's when Zhou Chen, the teenage polymath, had an idea. "What if we treat it like a multi-dimensional puzzle?" she suggested, her fingers flying over a holographic interface. "We could use Carlos' nanotech to create a physical model of the data structure." Carlos Mendoza grinned, already pulling out his nanotech kit. "I like the way you think, kid. Let's make some art." Over the next few hours, the team worked feverishly. Carlos's nanobots constructed an intricate, ever-shifting sculpture that represented the complex data patterns. Yuki Tanaka applied her origami skills to create a flexible physical interface that allowed them to manipulate the model. Maria Gonzalez's encyclopedic knowledge provided crucial insights into obscure mathematical theories that helped decode the patterns. Even Jack's giant spatula found a use, serving as an impromptu antenna to boost the ship's weakened communication signal. As the final pieces fell into place, Nkosi Okafor, drawing on his exobiology expertise, recognized a pattern. "These aren't just random data points," he exclaimed. "They're alive. The spatial anomaly is some kind of cosmic organism." With this revelation, the team adjusted their approach. Instead of forcing a recalibration, they found a way to communicate with the entity, negotiating safe passage through its domain. As the ship emerged from the anomaly, systems stabilizing, the Arcturian crew looked on in amazement. What they had deemed a potential catastrophe had become a first contact scenario, all thanks to the diverse skills and unconventional thinking of the Earth team. Samantha felt a surge of pride as she watched her team celebrate their success. They had faced their first real challenge, not with brute force or advanced technology, but with creativity, collaboration, and a uniquely human adaptability. As the ship resumed its course to the Olympiad, Samantha realized that perhaps this unexpected adventure had been the perfect preparation for what lay ahead. The galaxy had thrown them a curveball, and humanity had knocked it out of the park. Little did they know, this was just a taste of the challenges that awaited them at the Cosmic Olympiad. But now they were ready to face whatever the universe had in store, armed with their wits, their diversity, and an unshakable human spirit. The final test. The Cosmic Olympiad was unlike anything the Earth team had imagined. Thousands of alien species competed in challenges that defied conventional understanding. The Earth team had managed to hold their own, their unorthodox methods often catching their competitors off guard. As they entered the final challenge, Earth stood in fourth place overall, a remarkable achievement for a first-time entrant. The last test would determine everything. The challenge seemed simple: create a unified energy field to power a defunct ancient alien megastructure. Each team was given access to a variety of energy sources and technologies from across the galaxy. While other teams immediately began constructing elaborate machines, Samantha noticed Jack staring intently at the megastructure's design. "Doesn't this look familiar?" he mused. "It's like a giant version of that spatial anomaly we encountered." Aisha's eyes widened. "You're right. If we apply the same principles..." The team quickly formulated a plan. Instead of trying to force the structure to work, they would communicate with it, treating it as a living entity. Using Carlos's nanotech, Yuki's folding algorithms, and Zoe's coding skills, they created a complex signal pattern. Maria's vast knowledge helped them incorporate elements from various alien cultures, creating a truly universal language of energy. As they initiated their plan, the megastructure began to hum. Slowly at first, then with increasing intensity, it came to life. But something was wrong. The energy output was rapidly becoming unstable, threatening not just the competition, but the entire star system. In a moment of crisis, the Earth team made a decision that would change the course of the Olympiad. Instead of retreating, they reached out to the other teams, proposing a collaboration to contain the instability. Initially met with skepticism, their plans slowly gained support. Soon, teams that had been fierce competitors were working together, combining their unique strengths and technologies. In the end, it was Nkosi who provided the final piece of the puzzle. His understanding of exobiology helped them realize that the megastructure wasn't just a machine, but a dormant life form. With this knowledge, they were able to not just contain the energy, but harmonize with the structure itself. As the megastructure stabilized, bathing the arena in a soft, pulsating light, a hush fell over the gathered species. They had just witnessed something unprecedented in the history of the Olympiad: true cooperation on a galactic scale. The Arcturian judges floated forward, their misty forms shimmering with what seemed like excitement. "In all our cycles of existence," they announced, "we have never seen such a display of unity and adaptability." The Earth team has not only completed the challenge, but has elevated it to new heights. As cheers erupted from all corners of the arena, Samantha looked at her team with pride. They had come to compete, but in the end, they had done something far greater. They had shown the galaxy the true strength of humanity, not just their ingenuity and perseverance, but their capacity for empathy, cooperation, and growth. The Cosmic Olympiad had been more than a competition. It was humanity's first step towards becoming true citizens of the galaxy, a new era of cooperation. The aftermath of the Cosmic Olympiad reverberated throughout the galaxy. Earth, the newcomer to the galactic stage, had not only excelled in the competition, but had fundamentally changed its nature. The final challenge, transformed from a contest into a collaboration, became known as the Earthen Gambit in galactic circles. As the Earth team prepared to return home, they found themselves inundated with invitations from various alien species eager to establish diplomatic relations. The Arcturian High Council, impressed by humanity's performance, offered Earth a seat on the Galactic Advisory Board, a position typically reserved for civilizations with millennia of interstellar experience. During their journey back, Samantha reflected on how far they had come. "You know," she said to the team, "when we started this journey, I thought our goal was to prove humanity's worth to the galaxy, but I think we ended up proving something to ourselves." Jack nodded, absently polishing his trusty spatula. "We show that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or even our adaptability. It's our ability to bring people, or aliens, together." Upon their return to Earth, the team was greeted as heroes. But amid the celebrations, they knew their work was just beginning. The galaxy had opened up to humanity, bringing with it incredible opportunities and daunting challenges. In the months that followed, Earth saw rapid advancements. The United Nations expanded into the United Planets, a governing body prepared to represent Earth on the galactic stage. A new field of study emerged, xenoharmonics, dedicated to understanding and facilitating communication between diverse species. Earth's first interstellar embassy was established on a neutral world, with Samantha Chen appointed as the chief ambassador. Jack Harper's Galactic Cuisine cooking show became an unexpected hit across several star systems. The teamwork displayed during the Olympiad inspired a galaxy-wide initiative for collaborative problem-solving, with Earth leading the charge. As Earth took its place among the stars, it did so not as a conquered or subservient world, nor as a dominant force, but as a bridge builder. Humanity's knack for thinking outside the box, their ability to find common ground amid diversity, and that irrepressible spirit became their greatest exports to the galactic community. 1 year after the Olympiad, Samantha stood on the observation deck of Earth's new space station, watching ships from a dozen alien worlds dock for a conference on interspecies cooperation. She smiled, thinking of the unlikely journey that had brought them here. A familiar voice broke into her thoughts. "Ambassador Chen," Jack called out, approaching with a tray of bizarre-looking appetizers. "Care to try some Zeta Reticulan fusion cuisine? I call it Earth Shake and Bake." Samantha laughed, accepting a morsel that seemed to glow faintly. As she looked out at the stars, now filled with possibility rather than mystery, she realized that humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. In finding their place among the stars, humans had rediscovered the best of themselves. And in doing so, they had given the galaxy something it didn't even know it needed, a little bit of human magic. The universe, vast and wondrous, awaited, and humanity, with all its beautiful contradictions, was ready to embrace it.